What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Brothers, I was having a very serious conversation with brother George Macon of Street Media TV, and we happened to be talking about our brother Deion Sanders. And of course, Deion Sanders has done somewhat of a great job with the University of Colorado. He has him at least competing. And when he's winning, he's winning. And when he's not, he's blaming the offensive line. We already knew the offensive line was not going to be good. It's a very weak point on their team. But have you noticed that he takes it all on the offensive line? And I've noticed this in some of the interviews. And he's always talking about how he's going to get rid of these people. They won't be back next year and things like that. And he's doing too much, brothers, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, as black men, as leaders, and it's something I had to learn, and I'm still learning. When you are out in the public talking to the people, and you know your offensive line is bad, you go and talk to them, personally, right? And this is what I want to tell all of us brothers. Sometimes when we're trying to be leaders, you're growing into that role. That's something that I've learned. You're growing into, you're a man first. A leader ain't guaranteed. So those are different things. Like equality and equity are two different words, but they have a very similar reason. Just because you're a man don't make you no leader. Just because you're a Hall of Famer don't make you no leader. Offensive line is playing terrible. You go out there and tell the people, but you got to have good morale in the business, in the locker room. I've learned this the hard way. Take it for somebody who lost the entire business because I was too busy making threats and all this. No, keep your morale up. Why? Because those kids are going to be out there blocking next week. And they're just kids. Some 18, 19, 20, whatever. Right? You got to know how to shut up sometime. And as black men, we need to know how to lead. How to lead and follow each other, first of all. And if you can't do that, how you going to do it with women? Because women going to make some silly, I'm just going to be honest. Men make some silly mistakes and women going to make some mistakes. Especially women gonna make some mistakes. A lot of us as black men, we not gonna understand where that shit came from. We just not gonna understand it. What are you doing? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? I'm gonna be real. I've noticed that as I got older. And you might want to come out and say something. And even Brother George and then coach me on some of this stuff. And you want to say, and then you end up hurting a woman's feelings or whatever. And again, it's something that you gotta grow into the leadership because people are gonna do stuff that don't make no sense. But as the leader, you got a responsibility to keep morale up. Now, let's talk about these new recruits who are watching. I'm a parent. And I want Brother Deion Sanders, maybe he realizes, I don't know, maybe he's too cocky. He thinks because he got all the bling and all of this other stuff going on, that somebody gives a damn about that. Let me tell you something. Want to tell you something. What if you're a parent and you see Deion, not when you're winning, you see him when you're losing. You look at how Nick Saban handled everything. Then I'm looking at how Nick Saban handles it, and then I'm looking at how other folks handling it. Who I want to deal with then? I don't want to deal with Deion. Let me deal with Nick Saban. That's who I want to deal with. Okay? I want to deal with them. Want to know why? I want to deal with them because now I know it's serious. I know you can't lead. I don't want my kid making a mistake and you talking to them crazy and you going to the media. No, send my kid to Jim Harbaugh, Michigan. Send my kid to Ohio State. I want to send my kid to somebody who's immature, who can't handle setbacks, who blame everything else on everybody. Well, he does take accountability, but again, offensive line not good. Coach them. Don't tell them, you know what? Y'all gonna be gone next year anyway. Cause they still gotta play. You don't have no morale. Okay, well shoot. I'm going to be gone next year anyway. Why am I going to try? All right? It might be true you want to get rid of them, but you still got to work what you got. They the ones still blocking for your son today. So you going to tell them you're going to be good. And this is your son playing quarterback. What you think they're going to do? Well, go ahead and let them get hit then. Since I'm going to be, well, I'm going to give you my all. And that's the problem with leadership in the black community. We don't know how to lead. And it's something that we got to learn how to, it's a skill. Somebody got to be able to check us and say, brother, you're making a mistake here. You're the leader, but you're making a mistake here. Okay, so now we can learn how to lead. Learning how to lead and leading is different things. So we need to learn how to lead. how not to do the wrong thing, how to do something different. And that's the problem that we have, you see. We find ourselves doing everything that don't make no sense, because we feel like we so special, because we feel like no. We need to come out and stop talking about stuff like that. We need to come out and do the right thing. And when we wrong, we wrong. Look, I'm supposed to go and talk to my men, my people who's blocking for me. Let me get them behind closed doors. Let me go talk to them. Let me explain to them. If I'm gonna yell at them, let me yell at them in closed quarters, not in front of every goddamn body. Do it in the privacy. That's old school. Going out there to the media, insulting these kids. Hey man, that's not a good look, Deion. You a little bit prime time for no goddamn reason, bro. You're not above reproach. And you can't be the man that can't nobody tell you nothing. Because you're gonna mess around and the way you doing things, it's gonna make somebody not want to come in. Who want to work in an environment like that? My life is full of mistakes and people who always gonna make them. Always gonna make them. And again, that leading amongst men, we got to be careful when we're dealing with men. Men have, and I'm gonna tell you one thing, men, a lot of men's egos is fragile. Okay, and some of the men can never overcome that. That's why you see a lot of these guys. They are highly touted in high school, and they want to go to the NFL. And one of the reasons that they never go, it's not because they can't play, it's because their egos is broken. They get into a system where the person don't really believe in them, and and so their egos get broken. Once their egos get broken, it's over. It's over with. Once their egos get broken, and then they lose confidence. You see it in boxers. Boxer lose a fight or something like that, wrong corner, he lose like 10 straight. It's happening to my Niners right now. We was 5-0. Brock Purdy, I don't know what's happening, playing like trash. Ego is broken. We have to establish morale as leaders. And again, it's something that you work out with your women, morale with your men, morale with everybody in the community. You can't be just like, and you're going to make mistakes as people trying to be leaders. But the thing is, got to keep the morale up. Coaching and developing is something that Deion has to learn as a leader. And he can't be out there putting out his team like that. It just don't make no sense. It is silly. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.